Hello, hello. I am Shantae with Completely Crafty by Shantae, and I just want to welcome you to my page. I normally go live on Wednesdays at 7, but I will be headed to Morgantown to watch WVU play University of Connecticut. So I wanted to make sure I at least did a video so that you guys had something to see today. We are working on a sign. It says faith over fear. This is going to be an awareness wreath. Some of you may know I lost my mother to leukemia in 2007. That was a rough time for us because we had many deaths that year. But she didn't get a chance to really, she didn't let us know that she had cancer. So she fought in silence. But she was, she was a trooper to the end. We will be making this in honor of her and all of those who are fighting and those who have lost their battle. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my go-to form. I like to do the double curls in the ring. So I'm using a dollar store work form. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in 3 pipe cleaners to hold them in place. So I put 2 on the bottom layer and then 1 on the top. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I might need to move some things around so that you can see. That might be better. All right. All right, so we're just going to do this. Hopefully you guys have had a great week so far. I am still riding the clouds from this weekend. I participated in a designer marathon with 21 other fabulous designers. Everyone did something different and everyone's style was very unique. I learned a lot from the ladies and some tips and tricks I will try for next year for myself. It was so much fun. I was nervous because it was the first time that I had ever done anything like that. So I made I think it was 36 inches. It was humongous. I had it was an evergreen base. And I needed one, I needed a wreath. Since we had bought the house, I have a bank of windows in my breakfast room. And right above it is like this arching window. And I was like, this would be a perfect place for a wreath. And it would be even better if I could have put lights on it, but there's no electrical outlet there, so I couldn't do that. But what I did was I have a pencil tree, Christmas tree in there, tree that I decorate in like a rustic, it has buffalo checkered items on it, signs like old fashioned. So I just made a wreath to match. All right, we are almost complete putting the pipe cleaners on. So there's 18 in total. And I'm going to pause just a second just to make sure my video is running. I don't want to go through all of this and it not be recording. So just a second. Okay, it's working. Sorry about that. All right, so I use 10-inch mesh that I cut at 10 inches each. And so I'm going to put 2 curls in each of the ties. then I just crisscross the two. And make a little X. Doesn't have to be tight. You just want to make sure that the you're curling under so that the part that you cut doesn't fray too much. But everyone knows, you know, with mesh, it's definitely going to fray. But the less you touch it, the better. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do the others. Tonight should be interesting. My son went to University of West Virginia, and my husband is from Connecticut, and his kids went to UConn. So there's a basketball game tonight. So it will be a long ride for one of us, either my husband or myself. My husband this morning called me a traitor because I have on my West Virginia stuff instead of UConn, and I was like, well, we paid money to West Virginia, so I have to, you know, give them my loyalty tonight. But it should be fun. Should be fun. We've had a family tradition. We normally always go to the first football game of the season for WVU, and it's normally an away game. So whether they're playing someone, they don't normally play their first home game. Their first game of the season is normally away. Sorry about that. So we normally try to go to those games. But the last few years, this year we went to actually their first game of the season, and then I think we went to their first home game as well. And so we normally don't get tickets for basketball because my husband coaches basketball, so it's hard for us to go to a game because they're usually in the middle of the week. But since this is early in the season, and for my husband, they're practicing, they haven't had a game yet, we were able to go to this one, so we're excited to catch a game. We did go to the one where WVU played Pitt, which they hadn't done in a long time, so that was a good game. So we are definitely sports fanatics over here in the Davenport Hilliard house. This method here is, you know, very easy to do, and it gives your wreath some volume, which is what I like. I know a lot of people, because of their screen door, they really can't, they try to find things that are flat, like, so this wouldn't work. But for those of you who don't have a screen, this is perfect, so that it won't squish up your wreath. How many of you are finished with your Christmas shopping? I'm finished. I just need to wrap. I'll probably do that next weekend because my husband, we're going to support one of his players who plays for Greensboro College. So we're going to, oh, did I not cut it? Oh, here we go. I thought I didn't cut enough. So hopefully I'll get to do that. Last night, oh my goodness, I was sitting on the sofa. I had just put the topper on the tree because the tree had been decorated, but I wanted a new bow for the top of the tree. So I put the tree on just fine. And probably a half hour later, I hear like a snap or like a movement. And the next thing I see is my tree starting to lean over. So I rush off the sofa to catch it before it falls. Well, of course, my husband isn't at home. He's at basketball practice. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to get this tree to stand up with one hand? Because I think it's a 7.5 or 8 foot tree. So way bigger than me. And so I was able to ease my way down the tree to get to the bottom, but as I'm turning to lock it in place, it's still not steady. So I'm freaking out because it's fairly early, and I knew my husband wasn't going to be home for another, hour and a half. So my iPad was close by, so I text my neighbor to see if she was home, to see if they could help. And luckily, her and her husband came over to help me get my tree stable. Because I literally stood for a half hour holding the tree up because I couldn't, if I let it go, it would have fallen. So it was very interesting. Something that you would see on a Christmas movie. But it was my reality last night. All right, so here is the base. So I put two curls in each tie, and they were both cut at 10 inches. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 20 inches long to put on the top. I was like, I cannot believe it. It was nicely decorated. Some of the decoration came off. I was like, oh my goodness. But I survived. I smell, I don't know if my husband's making sausage or bacon. I smell something up there. Something smells good. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I need one more. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to curl the ends because, again, you can see how the ends of the, where you cut starts to fray. So just curl that inward. And then I just switch it up. And then I'm going to lay it inside the upper layer. You want to fluff it out a little bit so that gives it some covering. We're going to do that all the way around. On the weekend, some of the designers, we had one who made a swag using a Christmas tree from the Dollar Tree. She did a really nice job. I like the way she did her technique. And then we had Peggy, I think hers is Sweet Tea Maker, I believe. She gave us some great ideas. Like, I would love to do centerpieces, but sometimes it's a little intimidating. But she talked about these, she calls them smalls, but she has a shop where she puts some of her designs. And so, for a less expensive price point, she uses a coffee mug and some greenery, and oh my goodness, it was so pretty. So it just gave me some more ideas as to, like, because I've done 2 centerpieces to sell, but of course they were, big and over the top. But these would be perfect if you just want to put it on a side table or, in an entryway. It doesn't have to be, big or elaborate, but still make a statement. So I'm going to look into that to try to get that. So when I do my shows next year, I have something for everyone. All right, we are finish the top layer. Although, you know, it has this pink, the pink ribbon. I hope I'm not the only lady in the world out there. I'm not really a pink person, and so instead of making this base pink, I just thought I would make it a neutral tone, and I would definitely add the pink to it. But I definitely am not a real pink person. So to play on what's in here, so I have the pink, but then there's also an animal print. So I'm going to add this animal print to it. So I've already cut the 1.5 inch pink plaid using my Perfect Tails at 12 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with my animal print. Let me make sure. Yep, at 18. Because although I wasn't talking, mentally I was thinking of the next step. So I thought, oh my goodness, did I lose count? But I did good. So I'm just going to cut this in half. This animal print ribbon is nice and thick. So now I'm just dovetailing these. I'm mentally trying to decide. I want to get my schedule together so that I know what I'm making. But because I am a crafter at heart, and while I love doing Wreath, I'm going to look to do some other projects on my lives, not just Wreaths, some other different crafts. Like you saw last week, we did the no-sew, actually the week before maybe, the no-sew pillowcases. But I want to see about doing some other non-Wreath projects just to give you guys something else to look forward to. All right, so now I'm just going to fold the ribbon in half, excuse me, and then I'm going to add them fold it in half, and then I curl it over. And then I'm just going to add this to the base. And I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess of the pipe cleaner. I could curl them, but it's probably just easier and faster just to clip them off. And then I'm just giving each of the ribbons a little curl so that they're not flat. And I'll do that all around. On Saturday, when I was participating in the marathon, they gave us an hour to do the project, and I thought, oh, okay, you know, it's such a large Wreath it should take me that long. Well, of course, because I'm nervous, I, tend to speed up. So, I noticed the clock and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to slow down because I'm almost finished. So I had to move slow so that I could make sure that I used the allotted time and there wasn't some large amount of down space. I think I still finished like 4 or 5 minutes before my time was over. But I told the group on Saturday that I try not to keep you guys long. So I try to keep it, 45 minutes or less, just because I know you guys have a lot to do, and the fact that you're spending your Wednesday with me, I appreciate. So I want to be mindful of your time. All right, so we are adding on the animal print in pink. In case you didn't catch the beginning of the video, we are working on this awareness wreath. It's faith over fear. My mother had leukemia, and so this is special to me. I don't think I've done a cancer wreath. I know I've done some autism, but I've not done a cancer one yet. Faith over fear would definitely ring true for my mother. She was a minister, but she was a little booger because she didn't tell us she was sick. And I was the one that took her to her appointments, and it wasn't until later that I found out how long she had it, but she suffered in silence. But that's how she was, though. My mother was a good woman. She was taking care of her mother, and so she neglected herself. But, God had a plan, and so I don't question that. I'm thankful for the values that she instilled in us. She was the peacemaker in the family, and when she passed away, we were all like, okay, whose job is that going to be now? So I think it's my cousin Vanita. I think she has taken on that role. All right, so here's some that is doing a little bit of extra. I can't handle it, so I'm just going to clip that off. We are almost on the bottom, and then we just have to add our sign, and I will look to see if I'm going to a bow or not. I probably will, because I did pick out this ribbon that says courage, believe, family, you're courageous. So if I do, I will add that to the bow. So we'll see what it looks like once we get to the end there. we adopted a family for Christmas, or I did 2 families for Christmas, and so we went to pick out clothes, and I was telling my husband, we went into the one kid store, and I was like, these prices are crazy. Like, I don't remember spending this much. I was like, let's go to the next one. So we went there, and we hit jackpot. But they have such cute things, and they've come such a long way with the boys. I remember when my son was little, they thought, you know, boys only wanted to wear like sweatpants. So I was like, my son wasn't a sweatpants kind of kid. So nice to see that they had things other than sweatpants available. And my husband was like, you enjoyed that? I was like, I did. I was like, it's been a minute since, you know, we've had to shop for little ones. But that was fun, coordinating little outfits. So I had to do for a 12-month-old, a 6-year-old, 8-year-old, and a 9-year-old. So it was fun. It was fun. Fun. All right, I think I just have 2 more on this bottom row. And we will be anyone who's been around me, you know, I always talk about, like, my mom was really talented. She was an awesome singer, but prone to forgetting the words to songs. So either my cousin Roshan would like tell her the words while she was singing, or someone else in the choir. But no, she was an awesome singer, and had such a great heart. But she was very, very artistic. Like, she could make anything. She could draw anything. And I don't want to say that I complain, but I bring it up a lot, that I didn't get that drawn. Like, I would love to be able to draw or paint something. Like, I could paint a room, but I couldn't paint, like, the details, you know, in a painting or a sign. I was like, I just wish I could. My son can draw. My brother can draw. I may be able to draw a house, a stick house, because that's what she used to doodle all the time. And so I did pick up on stuff like that, how to do a house, how to, you know, draw a tree, but it didn't look like hers. But I just wish, like, we have Rachel in our group who did my logo sign. She's a great artist. I'm just so jealous. And I say jealous, and it's jealous in a good way, you know. We all can't have all the talent, so I'm thankful for, you know, what he's given me. But, okay, so here is our base. And so now I'm going to just add to the top. Almost there. So I'm going to just crisscross the top so all of the ribbon can be seen. I'll do that all around. Do any of you have family traditions that you do on Christmas Eve or Christmas? You know, aside from just going to church. we always, my son could always open one gift, and that was normally his pajamas. So we would, you know, we got a new set of pajamas every Christmas. And so when my family was close by, we would do the same thing. I would buy everybody pajamas, and we would sit around, either play games, drink hot chocolate, or watch Christmas movies. So I ordered. It was hard to order this year because I needed 5 sets, and to get the right sizes, I would either have it. They would have it for the men, but then they wouldn't have it for the ladies. So I picked out pajamas. I'm not necessarily thrilled by them, but you know, what can you do? Inventory's low on everything, everywhere. So we'll make sure to take a picture in front of the mantle with our new pajamas on. It even came with a bandana for my dog, so he will be included in the pajamas too. I didn't want to torture him by getting him a full outfit because that's not fair. He probably would have been a trooper, but I know he wouldn't have liked it, so I figured I would not torture him by having him put on a whole outfit. All right, just have 2 more. I know the season hasn't even, you know, hasn't quite ended yet, but we're already, you know, filling out applications for craft shows for next fall. You got to get your applications in early so that you're able to get a spot. So I just mailed I'll put it in the mail today for one for the October Color Fest in Thurmont, Maryland. That was one of my first big shows, and I wanted to get 2 spots, but then I told my husband, I said, you know what, I liked where I was, so I might just stay and make it work for next year, and then see if I need to add anything at another section. But I would like, you know, once people know where you are, they come back looking for you. So here you go. This is the base, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the string to the side. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll staple it. I will staple. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to add some ties. Do one, and then, all right, forget the noise. All right, let's see. the bottom. And then I'm just wrapping, excuse me, the pipe cleaner along the 2 middle rings for support. Outside secure, so now I'm just going to do the other side. Just getting that tucked in so it doesn't scratch the back of the door. But we have the sign in place. And then I think I'll just make a little bow for just at the top there. It would be fine just like this, but I think I'm just going to add a bow. It won't be anything big. So I talked about learning some tips and tricks. I can't talk today. Tips and tricks. I normally make my loops 6 inches. And one of the designers mentioned that Dawn, another designer, said she normally does 5 inches or 5.5 because 6 inch gets a little floppy. She's absolutely correct. So I tried that with my bow on Saturday, and it worked out. So I'm just going to do. I'm going to do a 5-inch loop on each side. My little pegs are coming out. I've been saying it, I need to get to glue them in because that one in particular always comes out. Sorry, I'll move this over so you can see me making the bow. Alright, so that was 5.5, so I'm going to make this 5 inches. Just bringing it in just a little bit. And some people can just eyeball it. I have to use my little guide here. And I did that. I probably, because I don't have much left, I'm just going to go ahead and make another loop. Just so that I can just use up the whole roll. No sense of saving it. Alright, then I'm going to go back with this just so that we can break up that pink. And there's not much left on this one either. come in at like 4.5 with this one. Two on this side. Forgive me, I never know how I'm going to do the bow until I'm, you know, until I'm in the middle of it. Do I want, you know, 4 on each side? I mean, 2 on each side, 3 on each side. All right, so that's done. And so then I'm just going to add this signature one that has the same sentiments as the sign. And this has wording on it, so it makes it a little bit more tricky so that the words are going the right way. So let's see. Because the wording is twisted, is upside down, I'm going to just twist the whole section. I'm definitely going to have to do something with my peg because it's not holding my bow in place, so it's making it all loosey-goosey, and I'm not liking that. Alright, so again, I'm going to twist this side because the words are backwards. Okay. Alright. I'm going to use a zip tie to combine everything. Just going to squeeze it tight a little bit. Cut that off. Alright, so now I'm just going to trim these top ones. Okay. All right, so I need to get one more tie. And I will add this to the base. Put it off to the side. just fluffing up. All right. So you're able to read the sign. Let's add a little finishing touches. Curl this side up too, but I don't have to do it as much. All right, and here we have our finished product, Faith Over Fear. For any of you that are living with cancer, surviving with cancer, or in remission, you have a support system here. We will be praying that for healing, and know that you're loved and supported, and pray all is well. Thank you guys for taking a look at my video, and I will see you guys next week. You have a good day.